The Lord spoke to me again, because this people has rejected the gently flowing waters of Shiloah, and rejoices over Rezin and the son of Remaliah. Therefore the Lord is about to bring against them the mighty flood waters of the river, the king of Assyria with all of his pomp. It will overflow all its channels, run over all its banks, and sweep on into Judah, swirling over it, passing through it, and reaching up to the neck. Its outspread wings will cover the breadth of your land. O Emmanuel. You may be seated. In the contrasting of the two metaphors, the prophet Isaiah points out a timeless truth that we will draw out of this passage in just a few minutes. And since I didn't start at the beginning of the chapter, let's get a little look at what has happened to bring us to this point. In the preceding chapter, Dr. Shipp told us last week that Israel and Syria had marched in to fight Judah, but they had not been able to overpower it. And God encouraged Ahaz, stand firm, rely on me, trust in me, God said. Do not seek out other alliances. I know it looks bad, but trust in me. Stand firm, Ahaz, or you may not stand at all. And here we are today. It kind of tells the rest of the story, but the passage starts, because this people has rejected. So Ahaz rejected the gentle waters of Shiloah. What does that mean, specifically for Ahaz and Judah, and what can we take from it today? Let's take a look at the two bodies of water. The gently flowing waters of Shiloah perhaps may refer to the Gihon spring on the southeast of the city of Jerusalem, which provide water into the collecting pools inside the walls. These are absolutely not a raging water, but a calm water supply that provides both protection and a good source during good times and certainly during times of invasion. This can also be seen as exactly what God has always done for His people. He sees to our needs and security during the good times and certainly during times of trouble. Isaiah uses to contrast that, uses the mighty flood waters of the river. It's a metaphor, the passage says, for the king of Assyria. But it's more than that. The picture that Isaiah paints is one of the Euphrates River, which runs through Assyria. Assyria will now invade or flood so fast and so hard that it will look like the Euphrates River overflowing with Assyrian fighters into Judah and filling it up to Jerusalem, up to the neck. Have you ever heard someone say, I'm up to my eyeballs in whatever trouble? The picture is not so pretty here for Judah, and apparently they've found themselves in a predicament where they're looking at lots of Assyrian fighters which have invaded their land. It's not very hard to see also what waters we'd rather be in. I want to share a story with you, something I came to realize in preparation for today. My mother had 3 boys, one right after the other, 5, 6, 7. And in preparing her Mexican dishes, she would heat up grease in a skillet. And we'd always try to talk our little brother into, touch that grease. Touch that grease. Just run your finger over that grease. And after once or twice of our little brother getting burned, and we'd get in trouble, and eventually what she did was she'd call us over and she'd say, now look, it's very hot. That pan is going to get hot and that grease is going to boil. Stay away from the grease. Your hand's going to catch on fire. Well, what that meant was, talk the little guy into touching the grease. But here's how smart we were. So when my mom would leave the room, the stove was here and the faucet was here. So we'd turn the faucet on in case his hand caught on fire. He could just move over. Poor little guy. I still have both of my hands. But I realized something. And what we can take out of this passage. God was treating Ahaz like my mother was treating me. She wanted me not to learn things the hard way. She wanted me to listen. Ahaz, trust in what I'm telling you. Do not seek out other alliances. Do not listen to your brothers. So the lesson for today is that God exhorts us because He loves us. And in a world where Christians on television are having their heads taken off because of their faith. And in preparation, I was reading that ISIS today continues to use the Euphrates River for maneuvering to move against their foes. Anyway, so in a world like today, do we really want to align ourselves with a political figure or some military force? Where God, through the entire Bible, has taught us that He will always provide for us in our time of need. The passage ends with, "O Emmanuel," and yes, God is with us. But let's ask ourselves this: will it be for delivery or will it be for judgment? We should choose the gentle waters of Shiloah.